Today, I'm working on plans to transform the outside of the cottage. Finishing the kitchen made the next priority a lot easier to see. Some rooms are finally coming together, some still need a lot of work, but the most obvious problem right now, and the thing really bugging me, is the outside. The curb appeal and outdoor spaces are really starting to bother me, and I think that's where my focus needs to go next. I've still got tons of projects that I want to work on inside the house, but I cannot ignore the fact that it's spring. Everything outside is turning green and the outside spaces are lacking. My goal is to create some outdoor living spaces as well as adding character and fixing some things outside that do not look good. I know from experience that outdoor projects can be some of the most costly and physically demanding of all renovation projects. So I'm gonna have to keep my goals realistic while making sure that I make an impact here. I love a good transformation and I'm hoping I can make this exterior really pop. So today I'm walking the property, making a list and figuring out what I can realistically improve without wasting money. There is rain in the forecast today, so I'm going to be working around the weather. But I do know that the shutters are one thing that have really bothered me, so I'm playing around with the idea of painting them. I'm just trying to explore some options right now so that I don't make any mistakes. I've got these two colors here. We'll head up front. I just wanted to go ahead and show you right now. It is Saturday, so a lot of people are off work, and I feel like people driving by are staring at me like I'm weird. These two colors that I picked out, this was my first choice. This is Booth Bay Gray by Benjamin Moore. And the second one is called Wales Gray. And they're pretty similar. The Wales Gray is a little bit lighter. And you can kind of see the condition of what the shutters look like. They are definitely in need of repair. I think the goal right now is just to take the pressure washer and get anything loose off and paint them as is. I do want to paint the front porch as well. And I would like to add some window boxes. Whenever I work on a project, I always search for inspiration photos, and I'm gonna have to admit that on this project, finding inspiration photos has been a little bit difficult. I feel like everything online is all about new houses, and there's so many things about this house that wouldn't look right if I added modern landscaping and details that didn't fit the style of the house. It's pretty obvious that the house does not look exactly the same way now as it did when it was built. There's a lot of things I don't know, and I've wondered if this house is a kit or prefab home, possibly from Sears. There are several homes in this neighborhood that were mail order homes, and I've really enjoyed looking back at old prefab home magazines from the 1930s for inspiration. They give me such a good sense of the kind of charm and details this cottage may have originally had. I may not have the budget to fully restore everything right now. As much as I would love to remove the vinyl siding, I really just want to be careful not to make anything worse. So for now, I'm focusing on small choices that feel practical, but still in keeping with the character of the house. I'd love to redo the front porch in the near future, but at the moment, I'm thinking about painting the railings white because the dark color feels a little too heavy. I know I want to prioritize getting the porch clean and remove as many stains as possible, and I definitely want to add some landscaping. I'm gonna have to admit though, the more that I look at all these old advertisements, the more sad it makes me to think about just painting the shutters and ignoring the fact that this house once had so much charm. I'm always on a tight budget, so this makes me nervous, but I think it would look so good to remove the shutters, put window boxes under each window, and add a trellis on each end of the house, just like in this advertisement I found from the 1930s. She definitely needs some love. This area is just as it was when we bought the house, and these pavers, first of all, are very unlevel, and they don't really serve a great purpose because either way, you're gonna have to go out into the yard. I really would like to create a pathway that goes all the way from the stairs into the shed because I use it frequently for tools and supplies, and that way I'm not dragging dirt in and out of the house. I also would like to add a seating area right here. I'm thinking maybe a couple of chairs, a small table that could function as a coffee or cocktail table, and maybe an extra eating area with a tabletop fire pit. And then I would also like to add some type of grilling space. I would rather it be out here off the carport just for safety reasons. I've also already created a seating area on the carport, which I'll show you now. And I do think it looks pretty good. It is from recycled things from the house. I've got a bistro table that I brought from our house, as well as some of the wicker patio furniture that I picked up last spring, and some decor items that I've just collected over the years. It's looking okay, but it's not exactly cohesive, and I definitely think I could improve it, especially by adding some lights, string lights over the top of the seating area. And I really need to look for some ways to add character out here. I think the shed works great to give shelter to what's going to be our new seating and cooking area outside, but it's really not the best look. I think it would be great to add a trellis and climbing rows or some kind of focal point to this area. And there's a real possibility that it may start raining at any moment. So if it does, I apologize. A lot of you have asked questions about this retro refrigerator. It is not a vintage piece. It is actually a new refrigerator that I purchased. I will link it below. We have not had any issues with it thus far, and I've been really happy with it. After the delivery problems that we had with Amazon, I do recommend purchasing this from Wayfair. I've had way better luck with their delivery service. I will link it below. It is the same refrigerator. The only thing about this refrigerator that might be normal than your different refrigerator is that it does not automatically defrost the freezer. So every month or two, we're gonna have to turn it off and let that thaw out. But to me, considering the fact that this was around $500, $600, and I'll try to put one on screen, the Smeg refrigerator is, I can't remember how much it is. I know it's thousands of dollars for this size, and you can see it's tall. It's taller than I am. Let me move y'all so you can see a little bit better. So yeah, as you can see, this refrigerator is a really great size. Just for scale, I'm 5'3", so not the tallest person in the world. It is kind of light, and we have chosen to connect it to the wall just so the door lock. I love the Yale door lock. There's a few products that I've gotten over the years that have been like an aha moment where I'm like, why didn't I do this before? And that Yale door lock is amazing. I really love it. But back to the refrigerator, I really am happy with the size. What I did was I measured from the windowsill to the corner how much space I had, and that's how I started working the layout for this refrigerator area. When I found the refrigerator, I knew how much room I had left, and I was able to decide how close I wanted to get to the windowsill, which I wanted to maximize all the space I could. I did make sure that we had the hinge where the refrigerator opens this direction, so there's nothing for it to hit. And yeah, it's a lot of storage space in here. I mean, a ton. The ice maker is a nugget ice maker. I did purchase this one from Target, and it is part of their Magnolia collaboration. It doesn't have any Magnolia branding on it though at all. It's just cream, and I thought that it looked so good with all this. I did pick up this microwave as well. I need to change the time on the clock. That is not right. It is not 6 o'clock, but I actually ordered this one through Walmart.com. I don't know if they sell it anymore. I'll try to see if I can find it somewhere, and I'll link it below as well. And then these two cabinet sections are actually the Innit, I think that's how you say that, EHNET line from IKEA. So very inexpensive. And as of right now, all I've done to create this countertop, because they don't have a counter on them when you get them, we just decided to take the bottom shelf that's supposed to go down here. I don't know if you can see. So the bottom shelf that was supposed to go here, we just attached it to the top for now, and I ended up really liking it that way. I may end up getting a piece of countertop, but again, we are at the end of our budget for the kitchen space. I know on the kitchen project, I mentioned that doing projects on a budget can oftentimes push me to make smarter decisions, but I've realized my limited budget has had me stuck on this outside plan. I've been torn between what I think is safe, budget-wise, and what I think the house really needs, which is to be taken back to more of something like this. I'm back today, and I've brought Luke to be a sounding board. I haven't directly told him what I'm thinking. I wanted to show him and see if he thinks there would be any issues or anything I'm not considering. I'm gonna go get him and see. I really would like to remove these shutters and put a trellis on each end. I'm gonna go get Luke and see what he thinks. Where'd you go? I'll show you the pictures, but I'm pretty sure that this was one of those Sears houses. But they didn't have shutters in the ones that I saw that matched the double windows. I mean, I think the porch has been redone, but could we take the shutters off? And then we put like a trellis on each end? That's how they looked in the picture. They just had like a trellis in the ground that went up on each side and no shutters on the windows. Just caulk the holes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what's the worst case scenario? I just don't like it and I'll put some back. I do think I want to take them off. So now I got to figure out if I can get a trellis somewhere that's that tall. I'm gonna grab that tape measure and see. I mean, if I found something that was like 8 feet tall, we could hang it, couldn't we? That's 8 feet. But it would go more like centered on this side, you know, or like towards the outside. I'll just show you those pictures, but it bothers me that there's shutters underneath the porch. I mean, it would fit on that side too. It would just be higher off the ground over there, but then I could plant something in front of it that would kind of hide. Since I know roughly what size is best, I'm gonna have to decide if I want to make a custom-made trellis for right here or go with something pre-made. It's mostly gonna come down to budget, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and make sure I know exactly what I want it to look like. It's definitely not that I have more money to spend. It's just that if I get creative, there's some things that I can do here that really won't cost me anything. I just need to stop being scared of making bold choices because for some reason in my head, making bold choices makes me feel like I'm going to spend a lot of money, and that's not always the case. The way I see it, I could choose to leave the shutters on, I could give them a fresh coat of paint, and try to make the house into something that it's not, or I can be brave, do something non-traditional, and bring back the charm the cottage has lost over the years. For every one thing in the house that looks great, there's 10 other things that need lots of work. Like here, and here, and here, there's things like this. But I can't just stay frozen looking at all the problems. I'm gonna have to figure out solutions. It can be overwhelming to think about so many projects at once. I want to buy new patio furniture, a fire pit, a grill, plus everything on the front, the trellises, the window boxes, the landscaping. I'm really looking to add back lots of charm to the outside of the whole cottage, but I don't think I can look at all of this in one piece. I think I need to break it up. Just like on the inside of the house, we've been going room by room, and I think the best plan of action is not tackling the entire outside in one piece. Since it's the first thing you see when you pull up to the house, I want to start with curb appeal. I'm going to set a max of $500 I can spend on the front of the house, and that's going to include landscaping, which is going to be a stretch. I'm going to have to do some shopping around and figure out what I can afford for the most impact. That $500 budget is also going to include the trellises that I want to put on each end of the house and window boxes to go under each window. Plus, I'll also need some specialty paint appropriate for that wrought iron. I've definitely got my work cut out for me, but if I made that kitchen work, I think I can handle this. don't know if you remember all the drama with painting that kitchen door, but I have procrastinated about starting this one. We're not using it as an entrance, and there is a storm door on the outside, so it kind of takes away from how bad it looks because you don't see it directly very often, but it's gonna have to be addressed at some point. And I really need to redo some of this hardware because it's just not doing it justice. These original doors are really, really awesome. I mean, come on. Doorbell. Isn't that so sweet? It's our only landscaping. I just destroyed it. There's places where there was carpet on the porch. 52 inches. I'll have to write all these down. I think I want to go to Lowe's real quick and look in the garden center. I've got lots of things to get ready, so I'm gonna get right to work. I'll see you guys next week as we start adding charm back to the front of the cottage.